We are continuing our discourse on Upanishad, and we come to part 4. We have already seen the three prominent disciples have come with their questions to Pippalada Muni, the great sage of India, and now is the turn of Gargyan. He approaches the Muni with this question. He says, Bhagavan, which elements in the body help one to sleep and then wake up? Who promotes sleep? Who enjoys happiness and pleasure? And wherein reside all these components? It's a difficult question, and Pippalada Muni gives the following reply. He uses several similes, several comparisons to make his answer very clear. Just like all the rays of the sun reside in the same being, all the indriyas or the senses reside in the mind, which is the Paramatma. There is only one sun, and all the sunbeams, sun rays come from one entity. Just like that, all our indriyas reside in the mind, which is the Paramatma, just like the sun. This Supreme Soul is not at all affected by any external stimulation. He or the soul is in the state of a perennial sushupti. This is something which we have to understand. The part of Paramatma or our soul that is never affected by any of the external things, external problems. So it is always longing to get back to its original home. We have a beautiful line from Wordsworth, William Wordsworth, a great poet of England. He says, trailing clouds of glory do we come from God, our home. So God is our home. Wordsworth was a pantheist. He was so much influenced by Indian philosophy, like so many other Western poets. So again we get a comparison. The five elements reside in the city, which is the body. Here the sage is using a metaphor. Our city is, our body is the city, and all the elements reside in the city called our body. So these are the elements that lead the mind to Brahma. Stanza 5 of part 4 states that the soul experiences its sanctity even in a dream. So even in the dream, the soul is quiet and it is never affected by anything. It transcends all the boundaries of worldliness and contemplates always on the eternal. The soul contemplates always on the eternal. This I had already reminded you of the arguments made by Socrates in the beginning. Socrates gives several reasons to establish the fact that there is the soul. The soul is a reality, and he said, see, we are always longing to get back to our home. So that is an ample reason for the existence of the soul. So the same idea is exemplified here. It transcends all the boundaries of worldliness and contemplates always on the eternal. Stanza 7 states again about the state of the soul. Again, here we get a beautiful simile. Just as so many birds take refuge in one huge tree. All the elements in the body depend on the Paramatma. Always Alangara, or the metaphoric, figurative use of language that is very useful. It brings home the idea clearly to our mind. We have seen all the great poets and writers and speakers and prophets, and Jesus always used so many comparisons, so many similes and metaphors during his address to the disciples and to the audience. So, just as so many birds take refuge in one huge tree, all the elements in the body depend on Paramatma. And here we have a beautiful verse or a stanza which explains the core of this idea. Vijnanatma sahadevaischa sarvaihi prana bhutani sampradishtandi yatra tadaksharam veda yede yastu somya sa sarvajnaha sarvameva vivesha iti. One who knows the deathless Paramatma, he becomes a Sarvajnani. So, who is a Sarvajnani? Sarvajnani means the all-knowing, one who goes deep into the very end of knowledge. Sarvajnani. Nothing is beyond his reach. So, one who knows the deathless Paramatma, he becomes a Sarvajnani, or the all-knowing being. He becomes one with the Oversoul. All Panchaputas, all Indriyas, all souls and all knowledge depend only on this Paramatma. That is the ultimate truth.